Hello, this is Michelle Fox from Michelle Fox Beauty and Boss Babes Online, and I am finally talking about how to create a successful YouTube channel. I have not spoken on this issue because I'm still in the process, and I really don't consider myself an expert on this topic. YouTube is a broad subject. We could talk about the real technical parts of it, how to create and produce a beautifully savvy movie with a professional intro and outro and subtitles and all this kind of stuff. We can talk about just figuring out what kind of content you want to provide and how important it is to be consistent. We can talk about personal branding, or we can talk about just literally how do you put one together? Like what are the steps that you take to create one? I'm going to start there. I'm going to start simple. I am still learning. And if I misspeak, you can correct me in the comments and I will take no offense because, like I say, this is not, it boggles my mind that this has ended up being my strongest social media platform. I never would have guessed, okay? I stumbled into this. I totally stumbled into this, and it was because I wanted to have, like, a training available, a free training. I didn't wanna have it live, I wanted to have it available, where people could watch it whenever. So I thought, "Well, I think I'll do that on YouTube, I guess." And long story short, I created a channel, and it was a struggle because I really didn't know what I was doing, and I think YouTube was transitioning too at the time, like, their studio was changing because there would always be, like, 2 sets of instructions, and one set is more than enough. So, anyway, that is kinda my disclaimer, I guess. I'm more than happy to tell you what I know, but that ain't much. So, let's go. The first thing is that in order to have a YouTube channel, you have to have a Google account. But the good news is you probably do. Okay. If you have a Gmail account, that is your Google account. And if you think, oh, I don't have a Gmail account, we don't use Gmail. If you have a smartphone, if you use Google Maps, there are lots of times, probably if you use that G Suite, like at work, you have a Gmail address of some kind. A Google account means a Gmail address. When I got my first smartphone, I had a frontier.com or .net, like, home email. I had a work at school email. I had my Mary Kay email, and they said that I needed a Gmail email, and I was like, "You gotta be kidding me." Like, I can hardly keep track of the 3 I already have. So, that may have been the same for you. Like, you might not use it, but you might have needed it to get signed up for your phone or your Google Home or something like that, okay? So, but if you don't have a Gmail email, yeah, whatever, Google, it's so easy to put together. So creating a Gmail couldn't be easier. You just go to Google, say you want one, you type in what you think you would like as a username. Sometimes it's not available, like Michelle Fox at gmail.com was not available because there are lots and lots of us. So I had to kind of maneuver that. Some things to think about is that if you are creating this Gmail account in order to create a YouTube channel for your business, then it would behoove you for this Gmail to reflect your brand. And it also is good for it to sound somewhat professional. So you don't want it to be silly or risque or sound too young. You don't necessarily want the year you were born. There are pros and cons to people knowing how old you are, or your zip code. There are pros and cons to people knowing where you live. So think that through before you do that. So you want to create a Google account. You might already have one, even if that's not your primary email account. It is very possible that you have one, okay? Hopefully I made that point. I do tend to overemphasize things. Then you create a YouTube account, but here's the thing. If you have a Google account, you basically already have a YouTube account because Google owns YouTube. And so your Gmail address is its own YouTube account. You do have to plug it in, say, yes, this is my name, this is my Gmail account in order to get that in motion. But it's not like you need to be approved or anything. It's already, it happens immediately. And that is your personal channel. This is really, really important, and this is gonna be a benefit for you. My pain is your gain. Uh, so this person, Stacy, okay, so Stacy put in her Gmail account. Whatever, she created one. The first account that comes up is just in her name, and the channel is her personal channel. Now, anytime that you watch a YouTube video, there's a history of that, okay? If you save it for later or if you share it, um, you can create your own playlists. Hopefully, you know what I'm talking about. All of that stuff is on this channel. So, again, if we're going to create a channel for your brand, we don't want that on this channel. I did not know that. So I'm giving you gold here. Okay. So you probably, all right, now I got to look at you. I always feel like I have to look when I say important stuff. So, number one, whether you realize it or not, you may already have a Gmail account. But if you don't, go ahead and make one. It's crazy easy. Number two, once you have a Gmail account, you basically have a YouTube account / channel. Okay. I mean, it sounds crazy. I have a YouTube channel. Yeah, you do. Your account is a channel. And once you have that, plug that in, put your name and your email and everything. It will keep track now of anything that you watch, save, forward. You can keep playlists and all that. And that's great for your personal use. If you've been following or subscribing to other channels and all of that, that's all saved in that channel. Like, you might not be thinking of yourself as a channel. You're like, well, I have a YouTube account, but I don't have a channel. That account is a channel. Okay. We don't want to use that one for our business. So it's important that we get that in our heads. So we're going to make a new one. Gmail, YouTube account. Now we're going to make a brand channel from that YouTube account. Okay. Where's my clicker thing? When you are in your account in YouTube, you can click on create a channel, and then it will say to create a new channel, you need to create a brand account, because YouTube gets it. They understand what our motive is, that we don't need two personal accounts, right? So if you're creating a second account, it must be for a business or something that you want to promote. So here you go. You get to make a brand account. So think through, what do you want this brand account to be called? Okay. The account name is not necessarily the same as your channel name. So to help me, I put in this title, I think I put Boss Babes Online Brand Account. Like, I put that whole thing in there so that because I wanted to understand, okay, when I see this, I'm talking about my account, versus when I see this, I'm talking about my channel. I really need things spelled out for me. So at this point, you're not naming your channel yet. You're naming your brand account. All right. And then you're going to start to customize your channel. And that's what we're going to do together. We'll talk about that together. So I feel like I'm taking something simple and making it sound hard, but let's again recap. So anybody can have a YouTube channel. You probably already do if you have a Gmail account, if you have a Gmail email, and your YouTube account is a channel, but that's personal. So we're going to branch off of that and we're going to make a brand channel. Okay. I'm going to provide the link to this article that I've been showing you in the body of this, the description of this video, and you can print it if you need to, or just follow it through and go step by step if you can't find what I'm talking about. But it really and truly is very, very, very simple to create your YouTube channel. Okay. I'm not going to go through the steps of creating one because I already have two and I don't need to get myself any more confused. But I am going to show you around on my channel and explain how to customize. Okay. Is that a deal? Can I just do that instead? All right, let me get there. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna take you in, bringing you in. So this is my channel. When you are on a desktop, the layout is different than when you're on your phone or any other device. It's way easier to customize on a laptop, so I'm not even gonna go anywhere else. Okay, so right here we've got customized channel, and here's manage videos. So customized channel is going to be things like changing your banner, changing your picture, your logo, and managing videos is going to be if you want to update playlists or move them around, that kind of thing. All right. Up here, you can put clickable links to all kinds of stuff, all of your social media accounts and websites. This is your choice. I'm going to show you where you can put that. So think about, where do you want to direct people when they find your channel? What would behoove you? So even like right here, I used to have free gift. I probably will change it. I had, free gift, click here. And it took them to like a landing page where they got a free gift. And then it took them to my, my website where they could shop. And so, there are different advantages, but there's so much that can be done. So we've got our beautiful banner. We have these clickable links. This can be, this will start out as your picture, but if you want that to just be your icon instead, you can do that there, or your logo. You can put that there instead. You get to decide what video is featured, like as soon as they arrive. These are my playlists. I get to decide which playlists show up or if they show up at all. I got to decide if I started doing live streams, so I wanted that to show. Most people have where all of their, let's see if I can show all my videos at once. Okay. It's really nice when all of your thumbnails look the same. Mine do not. Mine are like a hot mess. And at first it was because I kind of took the philosophy of, well, when I'm talking on this topic, I'm going to use this thumbnail. And when I'm talking on this topic, I'm going to use this thumbnail. And I thought it was clever, but now looking back, it's just too crazy. And then when I do my live stuff, I do something totally different. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do with that, but whatever. Playlists then are where you can organize it better there. And this is a really important part. And I'm surprised it's at the end, but the about button over here, when they click that, and they do, you have the opportunity, you get like 1,200 words or something, or letters or whatever, to describe what your channel is all about. Who are you? What is this? What is your objective? What do you have to offer? And you can have links in here. You can have offers in here. And then you can provide your email address and all kinds of really cool stuff. All right, so let's start looking at customizing some things. So let's imagine you've got your Gmail address, you created a YouTube account, then you clicked on the little thingamajiggy saying that you want to create a brand channel. You named your brand channel, and so now we're going to customize that channel. You won't have any videos showing up yet. This particular part, the layout, let's see where it says layout up here. It's asking you, what video do you want people to see that have never subscribed? What do you want to pop up when they visit? And then if somebody has subscribed, what video do you want to pop up? And then it asks what videos do you want to show up? How I said that I got to decide that myself. Um, but you won't have anything yet, which um my suggestion, well, I'll come back to that in a second. So this, you won't have any options here. Don't worry about it yet. So we'll go right to branding. So here, your profile picture from your Gmail account will automatically be there. You can change it to a logo or an icon, or you can just leave it there, whatever. Okay. Here's your banner image. Now, I want to show you something. So, when you change your banner, when you create your banner, it's cuckoo cuckoo, because what this is saying is that the most important stuff on your banner has to fit in this tiny rectangle in the middle, because that is the only part that they can guarantee will be seen on all devices. If they're looking at it on a desktop, they see this long strip. If they're looking at it on a TV, they see this whole big giant rectangle. If they're looking at it on their phone, they just see this middle section. So that's why if I had like the words Boss Babes up here, if you were looking at it on your phone or your desktop, you wouldn't see the word Boss Babes. So everything, all the important stuff has to be right here. So that's interesting. And that takes a few tries. I made that in Canva, and they've got banners ready to go. If you don't want to customize it, you can just put in their YouTube banner and see what's available and just stick something in there for now. So this is my current logo that I'm using. So I'm going to open that, and it will show you how to size it up. So I think when I initially put that in, it kind of lined up like this or something. So I had to correct it. So you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of all that space and get that lined up really nice, because otherwise it will be kind of blurry, if it's too small or what have you. So let's see. That's lovely. And then you can decide if you want your logo to be on the screen for the whole time, like during an entire video, at the beginning of the video, at the end of the video, that kind of stuff. And you can change this all the time. So these are some things that fall under branding. Then basic info. This is really the important stuff that you'll spend some time thinking about. This is where you want to describe what your channel's all about. Maybe give a reference to another website, like either a place to shop, or if you have a blog, or you want them to follow you somewhere else, or if you have a freebie or something like that, or if you have a second channel. And then also remind them to subscribe. That's really important. This is so cool. You get a URL, you get your address is, random. But once you have 100 subscribers, you get to make a custom URL. So this used to be what I had to copy and paste or tell people. This was my channel. This was how you got there. And after I hit 100, then I could tell them I'm youtube.com/ /C/ Michelle Fox Beauty. So that's so nice. And it's not, getting to 100 sounds like a lot at first, but that's a great goal. And then here are the links that I said, how you could put, and you can put whatever you want in here. These are the words that they see when they hover over it. So you could put free gift here, or I put shop online, follow me on Insta, join my VIP group, et cetera, et cetera. And then you can put in any link, any website. You can send them anywhere. Okay. And there's like 7 of them or something. Yeah. You can keep adding. You can, there's no limit. Like it just goes and goes and goes. You can only show up to 5. It'll ask you if you want to do like 2, 3, 4, or 5, but the most is 5. And then you can provide an email address so that people can contact you, via email. So all of that is getting your stuff looking all spiffy. Let's go to my dashboard. Um, so learning all of this over here will just take some getting used to. You just click around on there. So your dashboard is like the synopsis of what's going on. So that's kind of a fun place to check in. Content, that's going to be your list of your videos and stuff. So if you needed to change something, you could get on there and change it. Playlists. So let's say, and I just did this too. So here's a playlist. So these are all on the same topic. So it's Mary Kay Consultant Training. And so they all started out with the same thumbnail, but then I had a couple of them that were, I threw in there, but they were actually from something else. And so what I wanted to do was change the thumbnail so I can come in here and start editing things if I want to. So it's so easy to edit on here. Oh my Lord. Here, hold on. But like changing thumbnails, the title, the description, all of that stuff they make it very, very simple, which I'm so glad. But, you got to get in there and just try it. Like that's the thing. Like I could list all the steps A to Z, how you do it, but it's pretty intuitive. Let's see, subscriptions, all this. Okay. So let's go back to the channel. And if I wanted to download a video, I go up to this camera looking thing and I click on that and I can upload, not download. I can upload a video that I already recorded somewhere, or I can go live. Going live is just like going live on Facebook, and they have their own little studio here where you can set things up, you can schedule it. It's very cool, and it even has its own editor. That's a talk for another day. But what I highly recommend is that you go live on Facebook and that you record those videos so that you get double duty. So a paid account with StreamYard or a paid account with Zoom, OBS is free, but there are lots of opportunities, lots of ways that you can record your live videos on Facebook. Yes, you can download your Facebook live videos after the fact from Facebook, but the quality of those videos is terrible. So that would be the last choice. You don't want to do that if you can avoid it. So I would say, do some live video on Facebook, make sure that you're recording it at the same time, and then you want to upload that video to YouTube. And let's go through that, okay? Let's do. All right, so I'm going to upload something that I had downloaded earlier today. So I just select it from where I had it saved. And this is going to upload really quickly, but typically it takes a little while for things to upload. I'll just leave that on there, that silly thing. You want to come up with a clever title, and the description is really important. I'll talk to you about that in a sec. This part is just basically showing you, what it looks like when you download stuff. Here's where you would click to add your thumbnail. You can select the playlist that you want to add it to, or you can create your playlist. This is really, really important that you click the show more, because the tags are below here and we want to use tags. Okay. So right here, you can add tags that are relevant to your video. So if you have a skincare video, then you would put things in there like skincare, anti-aging, moisturizer, cleanser, brand name, whatever. So this is like hashtags. It serves the same purpose. It gets the right people looking at your video. You can include the date that it was recorded. Yeah. You can show how many people like it or not. It's up to you. You can click through. Let's see. Now, this one, yeah, we're not going to talk about this. Subtitles are cool. You can add subtitles. I always think you should do that. It's going to check and see if there's any copyright problems. I will talk about that in a second. And then this is really neat. So this is where you can keep it private, where only you can see it. You can, anyway, members only, public. We want it public. You can have it instantly premiere, or you can schedule it. I like to schedule it to kind of create a buzz. And the default is set for the next day. But I usually look and see like what is a popular time, current day. So today is Thursday. I'll look and see what's a good time on Thursday to go live, or not to go live, but to have a video drop. And I'll put that in there and set that as the premiere. So that's just something that I like to do. So there it is. Now, getting back to the issues of, what you want to call it in the description, me zipping through that really fast isn't because that's not important. Those are really important. The title can be fairly long. You want it to be descriptive. You want it to be specific. You want to use buzzwords. You want it to grab people's attention. The thumbnail, which is what they see, you don't have to have any words on there. If you have the title on there, it's, it has to be a short title, like maybe a 5-word title, because ideally you should only have maybe 3 to 5 words on a thumbnail. But here's an example. So like my title might be top 10 ways to make your eyes look bigger using eye makeup only. No Botox needed, something like that. Like I could like really elaborate on the title, but then on my thumbnail, I could have like a picture of really beautiful, youthful, lifted eyes, and then a picture of like saggy, yucky eyes with like an X across it or something like that, so that it grabs people's attention. Like, oh, what's that about? So there is definitely on YouTube an element of you've got to stand out in the crowd. So people are scrolling. All right. So think of how you think when you're on YouTube. So you want to catch their eye with your thumbnail. You want to catch when they type in the bar for YouTube, the search, for whatever they're looking for, you want something in your title to match up with that. So that's why your title can be longer, because you're trying to find the words that they're using for that search. So one clever thing to do is when you know your topic, to go in the search bar and to type different things in there and to see what pops up, and then to use that verbiage. So let's say I want to do something like how to create a YouTube channel, and I put that up there. And instead of that popping up, it says something like creating a YouTube channel. Then I'll be like, oh, okay, more people search for creating a YouTube channel than how to create a YouTube channel. So I'll change my title. I'll call it creating a YouTube channel. So there's little things like that you learn along the way too. So your title matters, your thumbnail matters, your description matters. Your description, you're wide open, man. They give you tons of space, tons of words. You go through and explain what it's about, use lots of buzzwords, because Google owns YouTube. And so when people do a Google search as well, if Google knows that somebody's looking for something about, like I did a video on ptosis, which is an eye, like a problem with the muscles in your eye where it droops. Not a whole lot of people have done videos on that. So that's like one of my buzzwords. And so it's ptosis, droopy eyes, lack of muscle in the eyes, muscle loss, all these different things. So when somebody Googles that, Google shows them my video on that, because, they put 2 and 2 together. And in the same way, they'll do that for you. So you want to think of, in that description, what are some buzzwords that you could use? What are people searching for? And the way you find out is you do some searches, put some words in there and see what pops up, or drops down. Either way. So we will definitely need to do another video on making the thumbnails and the banner and the logo in Canva. I'm not going there, on this, but um, don't get bogged down with that because there are things already made that you can just look through and be like, oh, that's pretty. I'll just use that for now. And eventually you'll figure out your own look, your own brand. That's my thing. Like branding is my thing. And I've actually got a course on that in June 20th. So I'll put a link for that as well. But that's not something you're going to figure out overnight. So those of you that have been asking for me to do a video on how to create a YouTube channel, I'm not sure if this is what you had in mind, but this is where we're going to start. Okay. That you have to have your Gmail account, you have a personal channel. We're going to make a brand channel. You need to start thinking about what do you want to call it. We're going to eventually have a look for you, a brand that represents you. But for now, you can just find whatever you think is pretty and put that in there for your banner. Since you've got to line it up just a solid color background is fine for now. But that's something that you want to be thinking about. You want to just start putting content in there, putting content in there. Don't overthink it. It doesn't matter that it's not that great. There are so many not that great videos in YouTube, and everyone is going to get better. And you want to get activity in there. So get those Facebook Live videos, download them, upload them to YouTube, get a thumbnail on them, get a good title and all that, make a playlist. That's how you're going to get started. And then eventually you will actually start to create videos specifically for YouTube, and they will be a little more polished and they will get better and better and better. And you'll start to see who is watching you, who is tuning in, and you might end up veering off and serving a slightly different audience than you thought you would in the beginning. And that's okay, because when you find your niche, when you find the people that like what you have to offer, your numbers will just jump up. It took me like a year to get to 100, but then I went from 100 to 1,000 in just a couple of months because I found my people. So and that will happen for you. And then when you get to 1,000, you can do something called monetize. And we'll talk about that in a different video. But basically, you can make money on YouTube just by producing good quality videos. So there's so much to be had. It's not just a way to get your name in front of people or to get customers per se for your business, but you can actually make money as people watch your videos. So it's very cool. It's very cool. So it's worth dabbling in at the very least. Give it a shot. And let me know what you think. YouTube is even bigger than Facebook. There more people watch YouTube on a daily basis than utilize Facebook. And Facebook is bigger than Instagram and TikTok, which I know is hard for young people to believe, but the mother lode, YouTube. So if you want to be online, you want to be on YouTube. And I know that's a big jump. I know that feels like a lot when that hasn't been that hasn't been your goal, your thing. That's why I say recycle your live videos from Facebook. That's a great place to start. And then you can build on that later. Okay. So I know there's going to be a lot of questions. So let loose with the questions and I'll come back and answer them. And I will definitely follow up with one, maybe two more videos on, the graphics and all that, and maybe talk about monetizing. Okay. All right. Thanks so much. Remember to like this video. If you got anything out of it, share it with a friend, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so that you hear about the next couple of videos on this topic. I appreciate you so much. Have a wonderful day.